Okay, so there is another way that we can factor these. It's called factoring by grouping. Essentially, you were doing the exact same thing as the box method, you just are not drawing the box. So um, when you are factoring by grouping, what you're trying to do, instead of writing this in 3 terms, you try to write it in 4. So your 3x squared stays the same, and your plus 6 will stay the same. So now, actually, here, I'll just show you over here. So I'm going to show you over here how we are using the box method, which is the same as grouping. So 3x stays the same. Well, that's like putting it here, and your 6 is putting it down here. So now, remember how we found these two numbers. You found two numbers that added to the middle number, which was 11, and multiplied to 3 times 6, which was 18. So you're doing the same thing to find two terms that will go in here. So two numbers that multiply to 18 and add to 11. So that'd be 2x and 9x. So instead of putting them in your box, you just put them here. So now you can see that 11x is the same as 9x plus 2x. So I'm just rewriting this with 4 terms instead of 3. So now when in the box method, what you did was you took out your greatest common factor. So essentially, that's what we're going to do over here as well. So you took these two things, found the greatest common factor. You took these two things, you took these two things, and these two things, found your greatest common factor. So over here, this is where the grouping comes in. We're going to group these two things together, and we're going to group these two things together. So if I take my greatest common factor from this, I take out 3x, and I have left x plus 3. If I take my greatest common factor out here, you have 2, and you're left with x plus 3. So something really important when you are grouping, or when you're factoring by grouping, after you're done taking out your greatest common factor, this and this should be the same. If they're not, you probably factored incorrectly, or you can't factor by grouping. So this is going to be one of our terms, so x plus 3. And then our other term is going to be the stuff that's left over, so 3x plus 2. And that's factoring by grouping. So if we did it over here, you would take out your greatest common factor, which was 3. Here is x, here's 3x, and here's 2. So x plus 3, 3x plus 2, you get the same result. So we'll look at one more example. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's do, let's see. Let's do 4x squared plus 17x plus 4. So we're going to do this by grouping. So the 4x squared comes first. The 4 goes at the end. 17. So I need two numbers that multiply, or that add to 17 and multiply to 4 times 4, which is 16. So that would be 16 and 1. So plus 16x plus 1x. I'm going to group these two together, take out the greatest common factor. So 4x, and you're left with x plus 4. Here, what's your greatest common factor between x and 4? Well, that's just 1. So then you have x plus 4 left. And notice how you have x plus 4, x plus 4. So that's one of our factors. And then the other factor is the stuff that's left over. So 4x and 1. So 4x plus 1.